On the last episode of the Shackle for One and the Million.
PUSHGAP.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. In case you didn't know, we watched Eddie over the weekend. Coming to America. Mm-hmm. Get your popcorn ready and let's go from Wakanda to Zamunda. Coming to America, baby. Who was watching this weekend? Now, you were saying that some folk seem to be having, because there are some reviews that are negative that were pertaining to it. But say what you were saying about the youngsters who watched it and gave their reviews that we watched after we checked it out.
One thing I've noticed is that there's been a consensus amongst the younger generation that either was not even born when the original was made, or they were children at the time. Mm-hmm. And so listen to a lot of their reviews. They're pretty much wanting Coming to America to kind of equal Black Panther, what they got out of Black Panther.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And they were like, there just wasn't they was like, it was too Disney for them. There were too many cameos for some. And sorry, y'all, spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen it yet, you might.
If you haven't seen it yet, we don't care. We've seen it, so that's your business.
We're just letting you know now. You're going to hear some things.
Come here after you watch the show.
But they were saying that there were too many cameos. And they were saying that there were too many product placements in the movie and things, and they wanted to see more. Like one guy, he was like, "Well, y'all want to act like you wanted to see more ratchetness."
Yes,
and there was absolutely none of that. There was absolutely no violence. There was no negativity. There was no fighting. I mean, it was a really good, wholesome movie.
Great movie.
Our children need to see things like that. No
matter not WAP and crap like that all the time.
Right. And I mean, there were a few little almost racy parts, but nothing,
But other than that,
top.
They let them go. Now, you had that part that you sent me, and I'm trying to find that here, but I'm going to go ahead and read this part if you can pull that up for me. That the part that they were looking for, rationalists. Coming to America has had negative reviews from critics, though many say fans will enjoy the Eddie Murphy sequel to 1988's Coming to America. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall are back, and so are the laughs. More than 3 decades, 35 years. After the first Coming to America, Eddie Murphy returns with most of the original cast. Now, let me tell you something. I freaking love the cameos. I don't know what you was watching, okay? And did you get the reference at the end when the brother and the sister looked at each other and she said, "You think you want to leave all this?" And they said, "Nah." Do you understand where that came from? If you don't, then you too young. Okay, that's when Eddie and he asked her, did she want to, the queen, did she want to leave everything? Nah, that was the response. I loved it. You should, all the little, what do they call them? The pineapples or something, the Easter eggs that they call. Yeah, the nuggets, the Easter eggs that the white folk call it. But yeah, that are in the movie. It was amazing. I just truly loved all the beautiful Black people, the costumes that were designed by Ruth E. Carter. And it gave you a sense of freaking pride, because all our stuff is either murder, death, kill, or flat out Christianity, religion.
Penitentiary.
Yeah, that's what I mean, murder, death, kill.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what our stuff is. This was beautiful. It was amazing. All the different components that they incorporated into the movie. I loved it. I loved it.
And the set, it was beautiful.
Yes.
The palace scenes were all filmed at the rapper Rick Ross' house, or his big estate.
How many bathrooms?
And his home have 21 bathrooms, and it has the largest.
Rick, you're doing too much.
And he's not the one that built the home. Evander Holyfield built it, but it went into foreclosure and went up for auction for $2.1 million. Well, Rick bought it for a little over $6 million.
Yeah, Rick know how to move his
But the home have 21 bathrooms. They have the largest swimming pool in the United States. So the rest of it was made at the Tyler Perry Studios. So it was black on black on black.
Yes.
Yeah. And gave a lot of people jobs.
Look at all the people he hired and put to work. Again, the cameos. It was amazing to see Morgan Freeman. Spoiler alert. You don't want to know, nigga, don't come here. Morgan Freeman, that flat out laid me out. Salt and Pepper stepped up in the boogaloo, you understand me? And then in walks Queen Mother, Gladys Knight. everyone. And now someone was knocking, what's her name for coming back? Calloway, Vanessa Bell Calloway. I don't see how that worked there. That was a stroke of genius to me. 35 years later, she's still hopping and barking. Come on, man. You didn't catch that? It was funny. It was the ratchetness. Let me read the deal here.
Tiana Taylor was beautiful.
Exquisite.
Yes.
All right. Now, coming to America. This is what y'all wanted to see, according to Demetrius Malone here. The Coming to America they wanted to see us portrayed as. One, Hakeem knowingly walked away from his son. They want to see Lisa and Mary fighting instead of becoming friends. That's the Queen and Leslie Jones's character. Lavelle, they rather see him selling dope instead of game tickets. A new light-skinned person to come to the rescue, because there's always a white savior in black movies. You can't make a totally black movie, according to them. They wanted to see Mika chasing a man instead of chasing her purpose. This young lady wanted a barbershop.
Yep.
She was training her whole life to be a queen and not some man's queen.
That's the sister.
And the last one I'm going to just read is that Akeem tells General Izzy, because it's impossible, he kills General Izzy because it's impossible to make peace with your enemy. Some of you need to say what you mean. It wasn't ratchet enough for you, okay? And I think that's a very deep statement myself. It wasn't ratchet enough for you. You might have missed the quality of the movie because you missed the fact that you were watching a story of emotionally grounded people. And some of you watched only wanting to laugh, not think, consider, understand, or to grow. So if you don't slap your knee laughing, you wrote off the movie as trash because you have no further dimensions. I love this. I commend Eddie Murphy. I do as well. Great movie,
yes,
Eddie.
It was.
And I'm going to watch it again.
Yes.
I love to see us portrayed that way. We don't have our own media. He used Tyler Perry's studio, Rick Ross's house.
Yes.
And again, the producers he used, you don't have to give it 2 thumbs up just because it's black produced, but don't give it 2 thumbs down just because it's black produced either. In life, it's never the fact that you dislike something or someone. It's how you dislike that person that reveals your character.
It's true.
See?
Very true.
Outstanding.
I think people within our generation will understand it and will appreciate it a little more because we do know the history. And so all of the little trinkets and the little nuggets that he did sprinkle throughout here and there, it does jog memories for those of us that actually saw those things because they went back with the flashbacks and used the real flashbacks.
And how they weave that in there back at the club, because it did make you wonder, well, how could you have a kid if you didn't? And then the way they done that was stroke of genius to moi, okay? Mm-hmm. And how he hooked up with Leslie Jones's character back in the day and what Simi was really up to. And that was a new quirk and a new twist to it. And I just loved it, man. It was just amazing. I don't care that you don't like it because it wasn't ratchet, they wasn't twerking, this, that, and the third. Quality black entertainment.
Yes.
That's what that is. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because I love seeing, again, the costumes were amazing.
Everybody got along.
Everybody got along. And it wasn't the ratchetness that you're so accustomed to because the white folk keep feeding it to you every day. So you think it's normal. But then when you see something that expresses itself, you can't handle that because you have never reached the highest expression of your own self. But that's another conversation. Outstanding movie, mine. So you enjoyed it?
Yes, I enjoyed it. And they said that he had a $60 million budget. And to me, the set design, Rick Ross' house, and those clothes made it worth it because she dressed a lot of people and everybody looked good in their costumes. And also, we need to mention too that one of Eddie's children was in the movie.
Yes, his daughter.
Bella.
Yeah,
Bella Murphy was also in it. And she
got her little cameo in there. She didn't get much to say, but you know, at least you got to show your face in the play.
She didn't have a cameo. She was actually...
No, I'm saying she was, but she didn't have, you know...
She didn't have a really big speaking part, but you saw her quite a few times.
She can get a SAG card now. Daddy done twisted her up in the game. And people talk about nepotism. White folk done that since they founded this country and long before they came here. You supposed to do that. See, when I was growing up, my father couldn't take me to his job. He worked in a steel mill, factory worker. But think of those who was bring your children to work day. Okay, in Gary, Indiana, you have a whole lot of jobs like that. Okay, so your parents are supposed to expose you to what they do. If your dad's a mechanic, though you don't like working on cars, you need to learn to work on cars, because when you're grown, you have that trade in your pocket.
But now, one thing Eddie did say, though, is that she actually had to audition and earn the role. He said that she didn't get it just because she is, and he was not the one that cast her. And so he gave word that she must earn it. Okay. And she did.
Our public story is this, okay? You honestly think I believe it? Oh, you're going to have to work for it. Like she wasn't snuggled up on the end of the bed for the last 3 months. She do nothing. But she did hold her own. You look great, baby. She Phenomenal job. Again, the total movie. Understand the total package. Other people tell our stories, fam. So you don't get to see that. You know, another one that was an exquisite movie, Soul Food. Makes you think.
Classic.
And then it's not all about killing somebody and not getting along with somebody. That's them people's deal. We've always coexisted. Remember what we said about the elephant?
Yep.
White people, please stop killing the animals.
So much respect.
Did you notice that? Yes. Where they gave respect to Babar, the elephant, and let the elephant be on his way.
Didn't try to spear it.
Ain't tried to kill the damn elephant.
None of that. Just they gave
Open up your eyes and see, man. Yeah. This man used black everything. And this time they didn't force him to put a white person in the movie. He was able to do what he wanted to do. Yeah, it was Disney. It wasn't rated R, but you know, it is what it is. Coming up, keep black folk name out your mouth. We ain't got nothing to do with anti-Asian sentiment. We're going to delve into that. Do you think Texas just showed you how they're going to end the future of electric cars? When our grid went down, everything was totally messed up on that. And Dr. Seuss and his racial ass will delve into that. Coming up next, the next voice that you hear is the hottest entertainment report out on the World Wide Web. You can Google Graham face us, all right? It's Jackie O's entertainment report. Hottest thing in the freaking game. Shaka 401 in the main event with Jackie O. Syndicated through KYBNradio.com in Mountain View, California. If you don't know, now you know. When it comes to podcasting at PushGapRadios.com, you got to bow down and kiss the ring. Hottest thing in Dallas, Fort Worth. Shaka 401 in the main event with Jackie O on PushGapRadios.com.
What's up, Dr. Ramsey and the crew?
All right. Doc and them been doing things. KYBNradio.com's new website. Please go over there and check that out. Coming up, next voice you hear is Jackie O with the Jackie O Entertainment Report. Heard exclusively on PushGapRadios.com. It's Rubber Buggy Baby Boomer Radio. Say that 3 times fast.
Come on back now, y'all.
Girl, say Rubber Buggy Baby Boomer Radio.
Rubber Baby Boomer Buggy Radio.
PushGapRadio.com. We finna take over this town like street sweepers.
Tune in every week at 10 a.m. for the Shaka 401 and the main event. Only on the new PushGapRadio.com.